are gonna get started, so let's go ahead and open up the doors here in our live Zoom room here at dailywithdoc.zoom.com. My name is Becca Dukes, and welcome to today's programming, where we are providing empowering information that just supplies actually the research and supporting data behind intentional supplementation. You're probably going to go to the doctor and they'll say, oh, you don't need to supplement, just eat right. Well, one, what is eating right? Because what I was taught was not right. And two, if there's no nutrition in the food, no matter what you're eating, how are you going to get the nutrition to support the body so the body can do what it was designed to do? You can't. And that's what this program is going to bring a little clarity as to why the importance of intentional supplementation. And I cannot think of a better person to be hosted or be the hostess for when it comes to nutrition. So this program is being sponsored by dailywithdoc.com. We are a group of certified holistic health coaches who care about people, we care about nutrition, we care about our communities, and we care about our world. It goes beyond just being good and having a smile and saying hi once in a while. It's caring, and it's caring from the heart. And we're going to be talking more about the heart and how we can support the heart when it comes to nutrition, because there are so many different conditions, poor health conditions, symptoms that are associated with nutrient deficiencies. And we're going to talk about those today. So I just want to say hello. It looks like everybody is in out of the waiting room. So welcome, welcome. If you have a question for Dr. Wallach, go ahead and get your hand raised now. I will be answering those questions in the order that they are received. If I don't see any questions, I have a ton of emails that are coming in because people are going to dailywithdoc.com, signing up for our newsletter. And in that process, there's the option where you can submit a question for Dr. Wallach, and we'll either get it read here on the air. If it's something more complex, I'm scheduling time with Dr. Wallach so we can get consultations with people and Dr. Wallach and get his recommendations right from the man's mouth. So he doesn't look like a horse, so I'm not going to say a horse's mouth, but I did. Sorry about that. If you're out on YouTube, welcome, welcome. If you're on Rumble, welcome, welcome. And if you are following us on Facebook, I am so glad that on all three platforms, you are plugging in to Critical Health News. Critical Health News is amazing when it comes to providing empowering information that goes right along with my heart and being able to take your life back into your own hands. You know, today we're Cinco de Mayo, celebrating freedom. Well, folks, we need to create a day that is celebrating the freedom from white coats that have us so stuck in a system that's broken that it's not even funny. But let's work on the solution. So, Dr. Joel Wallach, he is a researcher, he's a conservationist, he has a doctorate in veterinary medicine. And before that, he was into agriculture and plants and the soils. And then whenever you put in that doctorate of veterinary medicine and they send you around the world to try to figure out why animals are dying in certain areas and expect you to bring something back from almost extinction, and then you succeed, like with the white rhino, it's pretty awesome. And in that process, he also got 3 postdoctorates in pathology and had many, many findings that led to having almost 100 peer-reviewed published articles. His thesis in the Smithsonian as a national treasure, which is diseases of exotic animals. Pretty amazing. Big book. I want one for my birthday. If anybody's looking for a birthday present for me, I'll take one of those. But we are excited because he took all of that information and got fired because it wasn't giving them, the opportunity to collect money for something that they were looking for a cause and cure of, and proving that something that they had said was only genetic in humans was not genetic at all and was also found in other species. So, Dr. Wallach, you took your nutrition information, you started teaching nutrition at a naturopathic college, and then decided, well, I'm here, why not become one? You didn't know exactly what they were when you got there, but I think that it's absolutely awesome, Dr. Wallach, what you have done in your short life in helping humanity. So welcome, Dr. Wallach, to Daily with Doc.
Well, thank you, Rebecca, and thank you, team, and just for the story and everything. And of course, it's just one foot in front of the other, and each answer brought up more questions, and so you had to have more answers, and there's more questions, and so forth. There's a kind of an endless process because living things, whether you're a plant or an animal or a human being, are very complex. We need nutrients and so forth, and we need to stay away from bad stuff. And so this is a process, and as communities come up with new inventions and chemicals and so forth, weapons, we have more problems, and it's an endless process of finding answers. So I'm just very, very happy that I was able to help find some of the answers for some of these problems. Now, going to the questions you're talking about here, including the heart issues, I'm going to talk about the people who are supposed to be the healthiest, and that's athletes. They exercise, exercise, exercise. People say, well, I exercise. Okay, why am I sick? Well, exercise under the ideal circumstances can be very useful and helpful, but exercise not in the ideal circumstances can accelerate death and misery, okay? Because when you're exercising, you're sweating, and sweat is not just water, it's a soup that contains all the nutrients floating around in your blood. And so when you're sweating and you're not consciously, proactively supplementing to make sure you have plenty of these nutrients beforehand, during, and after exercise, you can get yourself into trouble by exercising. And you see this all the time. And I look at Fox News on my cell phone like 5 times a day. And 2 or 3 or 4 times a week, there's always a young athlete in their teens or 20s or 30s and 40s and 50s who are dying suddenly in the game, in the shower after the game, on the weekend, during the season, and so on. And they just tell what happened, and then you never hear about it anymore. Okay, well, that's because it goes against their belief that exercise will add many healthy years to your life. Well, that's true under ideal circumstances. But if you're exercising and you're just eating like everybody else, you're doomed to die early. You'll be miserable. You'll have all kinds of stuff, everything from arthritis, osteoporosis, and skin problems, and bowel problems, and lung problems, and heart problems, and so on. And so people, when they exercise, they're not supplementing properly. In addition to the connective tissue stuff, the cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, bones, ligaments, skin, all that kind of stuff. They also get other problems, okay? And we look at hypertrophic cardiomyopathy heart disease. That's a sudden heart death. That's when the heart muscle just dies. It's going along great, beating. Now, we calculated that a normal heart at, say, between 60 and 80 beats a minute, okay, depending on if you're walking or sleeping, your heart is going to beat what, 2.3?
Yes, 2.8 billion with a B per year.
2.8 billion times your heart will beat per year. It never sleeps. You're asleep, your heart's still beating. You're eating, your heart's still beating. You're exercise, your heart's still beating. You're watching a movie, your heart's beating. no matter what you're doing, if you're alive, your heart's beating 2.8 billion times a year. Holy moly. Okay. That requires a lot of nutrition. Okay. Just think about it. Your car, you don't just put dirt from Texas in there and hope there's oil in it. You don't put dirt from Texas in your gas tank and hope there's gasoline in it. Okay. And you don't put dirt from Texas in your radiator and hope there's antifreeze in it. So what's going on here? Okay, well, we got a lot of misinformation passed down from generation to generation. And it was because, unbeknownst to us, in the old days, we were getting nutrition that we didn't even know about. Because when we were using wood and coal for fuel, we didn't just burn wood and coal and that was the end of it. We took the residue from the fires, whether it was our fireplace or our stoves or whatever, boilers and so on. And we would take the ashes and put them in our gardens. And depending on where the trees grew or the coal came from, you could have many minerals in those wood ashes and coal ashes. And of course, the plants would suck them up, whether they were onions or tomatoes or potatoes and beans and squash and bell peppers and you name it, corn. And we would eat those vegetables and grains grown in our gardens, but we got all those minerals, which we didn't really think about. We didn't realize that the food is sucking those minerals up. Plants do not make minerals. Plants can make vitamins, amino acids, and fatty acids, but plants cannot make minerals. Now, nutritionals do not occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. They occur in veins like gold and silver, and that's why some places they can't grow certain crops. When you look at commercial fertilizers, they're giving the plants what they know the plants need just to exist, not to perform all these miracles, but just to exist. The plants need 3 nutrients. Okay, we're talking about NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. And that's only 3 of the 60 we need. So you could be 57 short if you're just eating food that's beautiful, tastes good, looks good, smells good, is being sold at one of these open air greens market, farmers market, and there's nothing in it. Okay, other maybe some calories in the corn and calories in potatoes and that kind of stuff, but there's only 3 nutrients in it from a standpoint of minerals, because plants cannot make minerals. Okay, and this is really crazy stuff. Well, and then when people they begin to exercise, okay, and they which they say they'll get AFib, atrial fibrillation, which is a irregular heartbeat. It's very dramatic and very distractive, and you wind up dying during a bout of cardiac. What's here?
AFib.
AFib. Thank you. Atrial fibrillation, and it's very scary. Okay, and so. And doctors will say, we got to anesthetize you, we got to cut you open, take your heart out, put a branding iron all over it, looking for that place that's making your heart beat irregularly. Well, it's not a heart issue. It is not a heart issue. When you have atrial fibrillation, it's osteoporosis of the skull squeezing the 10th cranial nerve, the vagus nerve. Okay. And of course, this is why we want you to get some of these books. There you go. It's all in your head. There's 37 different diseases you can get, which are secondary to the deficiencies that cause osteoporosis of the skull. All right, 37 different diseases. And so when we came up with this book, because as a pathologist, I see all this stuff on the autopsy table, whether you're a monkey or a human being or an alligator or whatever, I'm seeing all this stuff on there. And the medical doctors are missing it by a million miles. The top skull there is normal in autopsy. Cut the top of the skull off, looking down on the skull, you can see the skull is a quarter of an inch thick. The second one is also an autopsy. The skull cap has been removed, looking down on the brain, but you see the skull is 1.5 inches to 2 inches thick. And that's because that's connective tissue, that's scar tissue. Okay, that's not bone. And squeezing the 12 pairs of cranial nerves, and also squeezing the spinal cord, which gives us these 37 different diseases, which are in the book. It's all in your head. Now, why did I have to write that? Because I'm seeing all these dead bodies on the autopsy table, and doctors are missing it by a million miles. I mean, they had no clue. They said this has to be a genetic thing because 3 people in their family have it, so it's got to be a genetic thing. No, simple nutritional deficiencies because they're all eating the same recipes. We're all buying food at the same markets. The markets are buying the same foods, from the same farmers who are only putting in NPK in their farms. And they've been farming that land for hundreds of years. So that's all that's in the soil is NPK. What about bottomland? Well, bottomland used to be good. When they came out with electricity in 1882, and by 1900, they had big hydroelectric dams damming up all the rivers, so the bottomland went away. So all those farms would get re-mineralized every spring when the snow would melt and the ice would melt up in the north and come down and flood the valleys. And when that water would dissipate or soak in the ground, it would leave the silt from the glaciers grind up the rocks up in the mountains, and the farmers would plow it back in, and that was bottomland. Well, we don't have bottomland anymore because of all these hydroelectric dams. We don't have access to minerals in our food anymore. You must supplement. You must supplement. You'll add 25 to 50 healthy years to your life if you supplement. And of course, that story, it goes from thousands and thousands and thousands of years of using wood and coal as fuel and as our source of nutritional minerals, okay, because we're putting that fuel ashes into our gardens and into our food. I can remember my grandma putting wood ashes from the stove into my soup, in my stew. And you get a little bit of a taste out of it because she couldn't afford to buy the expensive spices. So she used wood ashes in her food. We're getting minerals that way. Okay. So this tells a transition. Okay. Okay. When Thomas Edison pulled that switch, and now we have Hell's Kitchen, which is a district in New York City where everything goes wrong. So the appropriate name for this book, where everything goes wrong in your health, if you're just eating good food, okay, because it's only being fertilized with, people say, what's organic? It says a big sign right there at the store, it's organic. Well, organic just means that there's no chemical sprays on them. It has nothing to do with the nutrition of those foods or what you're going to get out of the foods nutritionally. It just means there's no chemicals. Okay, there's no
fewer. Or fewer chemicals.
Yeah, or fewer chemicals. Okay, there you go. And so you got to understand what the lingo is. And so Hell's Kitchen, and then of course epigenetics. It's a summary of my thesis where I did 20,000 autopsies on over 450 species of animals and humans. It's right. It's a $21 million grant gotten by the director of the St. Louis Zoo, Marlon Perkins, and Barry Commoner, who's the head of the Department of Biology at Washington University in St. Louis. And they got that grant, but because I had been working with Marlon Perkins and he knew I was really into minerals big time, he made me the pathologist because they used my paper on those 20,000 autopsies to get that $21 million grant from NIH, National Institutes of Health. So they made me the pathologist. And that's me with one of my rhesus monkeys from Yerkes Primate Center in 1976. First non-human case of cystic fibrosis, supposed to be one of the more horrible birth defects in humans. Genetic thing? No. Very simple nutritional deficiency. And they fired me because they said it wasn't genetic, it was a nutritional deficiency. And that's when I went back to school and I got a job to teach nutrition at the National College of Naturopathic Medicine in Portland, Oregon. And I said, well, I'm here. They gave me some credit for some of my courses I took in agriculture and veterinary medicine. And then I took whatever courses I needed to finish up my degree in naturopathic medicine, graduated in 1982. And that's the beginning of us bringing knowledge to the general public to add many healthful years to their life. So I'm very excited about that. And of course, we just, in addition to It's All in Your Head, this is a companion book here, The Wallach Revolution. It's a 75-year track record of me coming up with all these studies and articles and experiments and stuff, big groups of animals all over the world. We're very excited about that. And then it has some of my major discoveries in there. I mean, I have made 600, different discoveries and things, which are all written up and this and the other. So we couldn't put them all in one book. We do have it in one book. That book is, like this thick. It's, I don't know, a couple thousand pages, and it sells for $25,000 each. So most people aren't going to buy that book. But they can get a summary of that book with that epigenetics book, which Rebecca held up. This is a summary of that book that cost $25,000. This one sells for $25, not $25,000. And then I want everybody to also get the book Immortality, because it actually, we've spent 6 months going through some of the longest lived peoples on Earth. There you go. And what it was they consciously avoided, what it was they consciously did. Why were these people living longer than anybody else? Why do the Hunzas in the Himalayan mountains, why is the life expectancy of the Huns is 120? The life expectancy of America, we're supposed to have the best healthcare system in the world, is 73 to 75, depending on whose numbers you're looking at. The ER doctors in America, the emergency room doctors in America, their life expectancy is 58.7. That's not a very good example of what to do for a long, healthful life, okay? And so people are right now, especially because costs of everything going up, people, I mean, Amazon just fired 27,000 people. There's 27,000 people that are having a struggle buying food. They're having a struggle paying their light bills. They're having a struggle buying gasoline, to go out and find a job. It's like crazy, okay? 27,000 people they fired. And so we're here, folks. Come work with us. You don't have to rent a space. You can work your longevity business out of your home and get big tax deductions on the amount of space you use, compared to your floor space. If you have $2,000 or $1,000, let's say, for your floor space, either for rent or for mortgage, okay? And if you're using, say, 25% of that, $1,000, that's $250 a month. You're going to get a tax deduction. Multiply that by a month or by 12 months. That comes out to how much? $250 for 12 months per month. It's a lot.
Maybe. I'm sorry. I wasn't following the math on that, Dr. Wallach. Please forgive me.
Okay,
Normally I do.
No problem.
I do. But yeah, so Dr. Wallach, you were mentioning athletes and exercise.
Yes.
I was not a huge athlete, but I did a lot of yard work in the Phoenix hot sun. And many of those things that you have recognized to be associated with osteoporosis of the skull, it's like you were writing the book about me, which is why I wanted to do the CD. Because there were so many of those conditions I could check off as being yes, 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 yes. So folks, you don't have to be an extreme or even a professional athlete or even a novice athlete or an athlete at all. If you do anything that promotes sweat, you're not just sweating out water, you're sweating out a slurry of minerals that your body needs. So with Dr. Wallach's program, we are replenishing the body of those minerals, plus making sure that the body is getting all of the 90 essential nutrients that Dr. Wallach found through looking at many data points with nutrition and for health conditions, how they related. And then what in something that, when those diseases did not occur, what were those mineral levels then? Even if something else was going on, and then connecting all those dots as to, okay, when this was going on, this deficiency was happening, but also this thing and this thing and this thing. Dr. Wallach, you must be really good at dot to dot because you connected a lot of dots.
I connected a lot of dots because I was doing a lot of autopsies, and I'm finding the same things going on in wombats and elephants and hippopotamuses and human beings and gorillas and alligators. Why are these same things going on in all these different species of organisms? And so it had to be some universal problem, okay? And this is where we came up with Rare Earths Forbidden Cures, the book, Rare Earths Forbidden Cures. It goes into the hair analysis. It tells you, yeah, there you go. Pages, it starts at page 272 in there. chapter 10 and 11, and it's going to tell you how to collect the hair, where to ship it, and you'll find out what minerals you have, the good minerals you have in your body. You'll find out what bad minerals, the poisonous minerals like lead and mercury and uranium, that kind of stuff. And we just had a guy the other day. He sent us a hair analysis. He had enough uranium in his hair to run a battleship. Okay, so why is that? Well, these people, they live near these power plants that use uranium for fuel. Okay, and the smoke and all this kind of stuff and water getting out into the fields. This is also in their drinking water as well as in their food. Okay, and of course we have a way to get all these bad minerals out and add more good minerals to you. But you have to know exactly what you're doing. You don't need a doctor's prescription to do this. You just go to www.drjwallach.com, www.dr.com, get that book. Let's see here. Well, you can get all kinds of them, but to do the hair analysis, you need to get the Rare Earths Forbidden Cures, and that book will be really a revolution for you, because it'll give you information your doctor can't give you. It's going to give you life-saving information and life quality enhancing that your doctor can't give you. Okay, that book, Rare Earths Forbidden Cures.
Well, Dr. Wallach, one of my favorite types of people or groups of people to work with are those that have been to the doctor. They have had every single blood test, every single scan, x-ray, all of these different diagnostics, and they come up with nothing. Yet they have all these symptoms, Dr. Wallach, and they feel like they're dying.
And they are.
They are.
Yes.
But the doctors can't find anything wrong because they're looking in the wrong places.
That's correct.
They're looking at the end result, trying to figure out what caused it, instead of looking at what could cause it that's creating these end results. And that's what you've done, Dr. Wallach, is, okay, you've got these end results. Let's go back and figure out why, what was missing. And then through the science of epigenetics, you have proven that based on what you're putting into your body and what's in your environment will determine how your genes are expressing themselves. And if there's no nutrient deficiencies, you're going to have less poor health conditions.
And you'll live longer.
You'll live longer, and not just live longer, but enjoy living longer. So for me, it's like common sense. It's like, let's stop taking.
No brainer.
Yeah, it's a no brainer. Let's stop making it difficult and start with the foundation. Dr. Wallach, is it so much easier for somebody to start at the foundation before having all of these sick conditions? So that means, folks, if your parents, grandparents, aunties, uncles, get the little ones on nutrition and help give them that solid start in life that then sets them up for longer life.
Yeah. And of course, when the sperm fertilizes the egg, it starts a process. Well, I shouldn't say that. It doesn't start the process. It kind of intervenes in the process. Okay. It begins to put things together, literally putting together, the two halves of the embryo, and it determines your gender, your hair color, your eye color, all this kind of stuff. And so when babies are born, they have all the physical equipment of being a boy or a girl, and they also have it up here whether they're going to be a boy or a girl, if everything's right. Now, if there's something wrong, there's something missing in the mother and the father before the sperm hit the egg.
Yes, that is right. That is right. So let's not have anything missing. Let's be proactive instead of reactive all the time. I know reactive did work for me, and it works better for some than others, but I'm working on getting my kids and grandkids with a solid foundation so they don't have to go through what I went through coming into even my teen years. I mean, well, 8 years old is when I started having my migraines. So yeah, let's prevent that. But right now, let's work on getting some questions answered, Dr. Wallach. We have hands up. We have questions out on YouTube with people saying, and there's been some positive chatter out there too, saying, Dr. Wallach, you are the best. And also from the United Kingdom, Jackie is saying, love Dr. Wallach, wealth of life's education. What a blessing.
These people are so
There was
kind.
somebody, I'm sorry.
These people are so kind. We just appreciate them recognizing that our work has some value for their family and their community.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, so Raul says you are the best of the best, Dr. Wallach. So I'm going to have to agree with you there because you're the only one that could figure me out. And now I'm easier to get along with. Folks, you're watching Daily with Doc. My name is Becca Dukes, and we just want to thank you all for being here. And we want to thank our amazing community of coaches who are sharing this program and showing up to this program on behalf of their clients and the people that they are working with in their health coaching business. Folks, if you have ever thought of having a business of your own, and you have even a remote desire to help people with health, because you know health is one of the biggest industries. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. Everybody's looking for something when it comes to their health, whether it's weight loss, more hair, different colors hair, less wrinkles. It all starts at the cellular level. So when you give the body what it needs at the nutritional level, the cells can be healthier and happier, and then they're expressed on the outside, because if you got bad stuff going on the outside, it's on the inside too. So get back with the health coach that brought you to this program. If you want to be a health coach, you can go to coachwithbecca.com and get some more information, but that's for the people that were not brought into watching this program by somebody else. That person has a vested interest and took the time and cared enough to share this program with you. So get back with them. Let's go to the first hand that is up, and we have Reginald. Reginald, go ahead and unmute yourself. Welcome to Daily with Doc.
Hello, Rebecca. Hello, Dr. Wallach.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yeah,
Where are you from, sir?
I'm from Memphis, Tennessee.
Mississippi?
Memphis, Tennessee.
Oh, Memphis.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, Dr. Wallach, I've been a rep since 2011 with Longevity, and I'm calling you today because my daughter is in the hospital. She's 20 years old. She weighs 66 pounds. She's 4 feet 11. She has cerebral palsy, epilepsy, scoliosis, and developmental delayed. She's in the hospital because of seizures, and they said seizures have damaged her brain, have caused brain damage. And she's kind of was in ICU, but now she's out. And I'm trying to figure out what products, I know the Healthy Brain and Heart Pack will be one of them, but what products do I need to help her brain recover?
Okay. Okay, very good. The brain, like all other tissues in the body, requires nutrition, right? And so it's one of those things where we have to make sure there's no bad foods going into her, no fried foods. No fried foods. We have the good food, bad food list. We have the book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods. It's 300 pages of safe recipes and safe cooking methods, and also has a good food, bad food list in that book, Dr. Wallach's Cooking Without the Bad Foods. 300 pages. It's a great investment in people's health. And then She needs to get rid of all the bad foods, no fried foods, no processed meats. We're talking about ham and bacon and bologna and salami and pepperoni and that kind of stuff. All that chemicals in the foods, got to get rid of them. Absolutely no oil, no salad dressing, no cooking oils. If she wants something on her salad, she can have cream or she can have yogurt and lemon juice and that kind of stuff. And then no gluten, no wheat, no barley, rye, and oats, no wheat, no barley, rye, and oats. There are no such things as gluten-free oats. The gluten in oats is called gliadin, but it's still gluten. Okay, it kills the intestinal villi, so you can't absorb anything. You're putting in your mouth and it's coming out the other end because all those villi are gone because you're eating oatmeal for breakfast every morning and having spaghetti for lunch every day and having pancakes on the weekends. Okay, and all that kind of stuff is wheat, barley, rye, and oats. And then buckwheat is worse than wheat, barley, rye, and oats. It doesn't have any gluten in it, but buckwheat does have what's called phagopyrenes, F-A-G-O pyrines, which will kill your intestines faster than the gluten will. Then no sugar of any kind, and then absolutely no carbonated drinks, including soft drinks, diet drinks, and then carbonated water. Just carbonated water will neutralize your stomach acid, so you cannot absorb minerals and digest food. You need stomach acid. That's why the good Lord gave us the cells in the stomach to make stomach acid. And also, she needs salt. She needs to salt her food to taste. It could be the salt from Australia and New Zealand. Okay, it's called the seasoned salt. Okay, and it comes from the seaweed and stuff like that in the ocean around Australia and New Zealand. I use this most of the time, but then I also we've gotten the Himalayan salt back. It comes from the Himalayan mountains where there used to be oceans, and the oceans went away. All the minerals and seaweed and everything fell into the valleys, and this is where we get our minerals there. And it has the Himalayan salt has also 28 minerals in there. So I kind of alternate between seasoned salt from Australia and Himalayan salt from the Himalayas. Okay, that's going to help her digest food and absorb food. Then we want her also, also every cell in her body requires that sodium chloride. That helps the cells do all this biochemistry that each cell does of every organ. Okay, every system in the body requires salt. Any doctor who says don't use salt should have their licenses taken away because they're telling you don't use oxygen. How many people would believe that? Well, there's people who would believe that. My doctor says I can't use oxygen. Okay, so don't listen to that kind of stuff. Okay, and then we need to have her at 66 pounds. I would give her one healthy brain and heart pack per month. It has 215 nutrients, including the core, which is the 90 essential nutrients, 16 minerals, 16 vitamins, 12 acids, 3 acids, 3 fatty acids. She needs to be taking half a dose of everything in that one healthy brain and heart pack, a half a dose of everything at breakfast, half a dose of everything at dinner time. Okay, and then let's see here. I also want her to have the MSM. She can take one bottle a month of her MSM. She can take 3 of those at breakfast, 3 at dinner, or 2, 2, and 2. Okay, she needs 6 a day. And they're going to help her with her digestion. It's going to help her bone marrow make white blood cells, which are good for her immune system. Okay, very important here. Also, it will help her make red blood cells because your bone marrow is what makes red blood cells. And, you're anemic and doctor, I'll give you an iron shot. Well, if your bone marrow is not working, you can take all the iron shots you want, but you'll still be anemic because you can't make red blood cells without your bone marrow making red blood cells. Okay. And then also that needs the, let's see here, I said the, she also needs our rebound or a sports drink. She could have at her body weight, I'd start out with 1 per day. It could be with breakfast or between breakfast and lunch or with lunch. I want her to start out with these sticks. There's 100 nutrients in here. There's 30 of these sticks in a box. Okay. And 75 minerals and 25 vitamins, amino acids. This is in addition to that healthy brain and heart pack. Okay. And we also want her to have 3 doses a day of her I-26. It's going to help rebuild her brain. Okay. And her spinal cord. Okay. And I want her to, let's see here, take 3 servings a day, 1 serving of breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And we have the chewables. I like the chewables. They taste like vanilla ice cream. They're soft chewies. Okay. And they're kind of like little white wafers. And so I take those, I take all of mine at lunchtime, but she could take 1 at breakfast, 1 at lunch, 1 at dinner time. And then also I want her to take let's see here, I-26, we said that. Oh, she needs a synaptive. It's going to help her brain cells talk to each other. Okay. And she's gonna get much, much more action there. And one other thing, is she cycling? You know, does she have periods? Is she cycling?
Yes,
Yes?
yes.
Okay. And I also want her to have, if she's cycling, I want her to have our Zera Fem. Okay. And her body weight, she could take, say, 1 twice a day. I'd start her out with 1 twice a day. That's going to give her ovaries the nutrition to make proper, healthy female hormones. Okay. And also tone up the muscles in the uterus and the oviducts and all this kind of stuff, and make her ovaries happy and all that kind of stuff. If she's having discomfort or irregularity and all that stuff. The Xerafem, Xera Fem, okay. And she can have one of those twice a day. So that bottle's gonna last her 2 months. Okay. All right. And so let's start there. That's a lot of stuff, but she needs this because, you know, at her age, you say she's what, to 20
years old.
20 years old, and she's only 66 pounds.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so we need to get her her height. Okay, she's 4'11", almost 5 foot tall. So she really should be like 90 pounds or 100 pounds, something like that. So we want her to gain muscle, not fat. So that's why I would suggest this kind of stuff. And I also want her to eat 3 eggs a day, one at breakfast, one at lunch, with a dinner time. That's with all the other food she eats. They cannot be fried. They cannot be hard boiled. They must be soft poached, soft boiled, soft scrambled in butter. No margins. No margins. That's another bad thing. No margins. Butter, 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 butter. Okay. Because the brain is made out of cholesterol. 25% of your brain is cholesterol. 25% of your spinal cord is cholesterol. She's got to have that stuff. Did I leave anything out there, Rebecca?
Dr. Wallach, how about the TMR shake? Did you mention that?
I did not mention the TMR shake. Okay, no,
Yeah.
that's good.
So it comes in chocolate or vanilla. It tastes good. It provides extra nutrition that a meal would have. And being the petite person that she is, having that extra nutrition with the proteins could be very helpful in helping to support muscle as well.
There you go.
Okay.
And so, you know, we can help her add 25 to 50 healthy years to her life. Okay, we can help her gain some weight to where she's got good weight gain. It's gonna be muscle and skin and that kind of stuff. Her brain's gonna work better. Her spinal cord is gonna work better. If she stays away from all the bad foods, her digestive system will work better. Okay. And then call us every couple of weeks, because the benefits occur very quickly. So she'll have a great story in 2 weeks and 4 weeks and 6 weeks and so on. Call anytime, but you know, give us a call every couple of weeks and give us a kind of a progress report. Okay.
Okay, Dr. Walker. Thank you.
God bless you, sir.
Thank
So
you.
Reginald, one thing, when you go to visit her, there's those little 2-ounce spray bottles, little spritz bottles. Take one with you with plant-derived minerals in it and just spray it on her belly. Just so that she's getting those minerals absorbing into her skin. Because I know when they're in the hospital,
Okay.
it's a little hard to control what they're feeding them and
Yeah.
get things added. So
You just reminded me of something also. Does she tend to get a lot of colds and that sort of stuff?
Well, she has sinus issues.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I want her also to get our colloidal silver, and her body weight. She could put, you know, just a half a dropper full under her tongue on the right hand side, and half a dropper full under her left hand side of her tongue. And before she gets the dropper out of her mouth, it's absorbed. It's almost like intravenous. It's absorbed very quickly. And this has been used as an antibiotic for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. It kills viruses, bacteria, fungus, and yeast. Penicillin, you know, which makes the doctors happy, because you have to go there and get an office call fee and all this kind of stuff. The penicillin only treats 2 types of bacteria. Okay, these are called gram-positive bacteria, like Streptococcus and Staphylococcus. That's it.
Okay.
Colloidal silver kills viruses, bacteria, fungus, and yeast. With all this COVID stuff and all these new viruses come along, all this stuff, and her immune system has got to be low. And so I'd also add that colloidal silver. That one bottle should last her 3 months.
Okay. Do you think she need any vitamin D3?
Well, the vitamin D3 is in the supplement program, but we do have vitamin D3. You can get those extra, and that's going to help her absorb more of the minerals and put them in the right place. No problem here. Absolutely. We do have vitamin D3. All right.
All
Okay,
right, Reginald,
okay, thank you.
you're welcome. Keeping your family in our thoughts and prayers. So
Absolutely.
that's
Okay.
another thing we do for our community is we hold each other up and we, you know, come in agreement to
You
help
said the
with,
right word, our community. We are family.
we are
Okay,
family.
Okay, thank
That's
y'all
right.
very much.
Bye-bye.
All right. And out in YouTube land,
Bye-bye.
Dr. Wallach, we have somebody that has a question in regards to what they can do to help treat an allergic reaction to latex products like latex gloves. And they create a rash, which I'm sensitive to latex. I haven't tried it in a long time, but is there anything that we can do to help support the body and the immune system that would
Basically,
help?
you need to make the skin healthy. Okay. And of course, in addition to the 90 essential nutrients and or the healthy brain and heart pack, we need the MSM, collagen peptides, right? All that kind of stuff. We also need, in addition to all that, we have the hair, skin, and nails. Get the hair, skin, and nails. They can take 3 twice a day, okay, per 100 pounds of body weight. And remember, 2/3 of the skin is connective tissue. So you need the MSM and the healthy, and the collagen peptides, in addition to the healthy brain and heart pack. Hair, skin, and nails, and also the colloidal silver, because there may be some bugs involved there. Okay, so the colloidal silver will tamp down and dampen down the possibility of having infections, again, from viruses, bacteria, fungus, and yeast. Okay, and of course, if it itches and burns and hurts, we have our CM cream. We also have the Soothe, okay, from our Hemp FX. Okay, and so these things are available. The CM cream gives you 2 to 4 hours of pain relief, and the Hemp FX Soothe will give you 4 to 6 hours of relief. And so I kind of use them both during the day. I alternate every couple of hours, but at night before I go to bed, I use the Soothe, because it gives me a good 6 to 8 hours of sleep without any worry about getting itchy or.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Dr. Wallach. And Dr. Wallach, I've had some people say, well, if Dr. Wallach's taking all these products, then why is he needing the CM and the Soothe? And folks, here's the answer. Dr. Wallach, no matter how healthy we are, there's going to be accidents. And Dr. Wallach was in one that would have taken anybody's life with the infection that had set in, because he was not at home when he did it. He did not have his colloidal silver and all of the things that he keeps in his toolbox. And folks, when you become a skewer to rebar, it can get ugly really fast.
Yeah, most people would have died.
Dr. Wallach survived.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen the pictures. It's just amazing, Dr. Wallach, because you don't even have the scarring that you would think that a person would have.
It look hard. They're there, but my skin
They're
heals.
there, but it's not what you would think, which is just blows my mind. So I just wanted to bring that up. And whenever we do have, you know, life events happen, we may not be able to completely cure and reverse, and our products do not diagnose, cure, or reverse, nor does this program. But your body can do some amazing stuff when it has the right ingredients. So, Dr. Wallach, I know we didn't talk about, I didn't have permission to share that, but I think that's something that people needed to hear.
Well, thank you.
Because you're great, and there's a reason why you're still here. So let's help more people.
Has what should I say, has a mission for me. I look at it as a mission. I was appointed. For whatever reason, I was chosen when I was 9 years old, because I was seeing this when I was 9, and 20 doctors couldn't figure out what was wrong with me. And I figured it out when I was 9 and cured myself in 2.5 days. And in 5 years' time, those 20 doctors couldn't help me. And they're all just giving up and saying, well, we don't know how long he's got, but it's not going to be long. And I cured myself in 2.5 days. Okay, just by taking and eating vitamins and minerals from animal supplements. Okay, is how I did it. Because we lived on the farm. It was very easy for me as a 9-year-old kid just to go to the barn and get the animal supplements and take them on Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Even by Monday afternoon, after 5.5 years of having all these terrible events and 20 doctors, and these were medical doctors. They were medical doctors and psychiatrists because they thought I had a lot of craziness going on and so on, because it was being very violent and behavioral stuff as well as physical stuff and physiological stuff. But I said, there's got to be a reason why animals don't have these problems.
Yep.
And so
And
I
you figured it out, Dr. Wallach.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you're sharing that information with us. I know we're coming short on time. Let's go ahead and get at least, if we can get 2 hands, that would be great. Can we do one more?
Let's try one more.
Okay. Marilyn, go ahead and unmute yourself. Do you have a question for Dr. Wallach?
Yes, hello, everybody. Want to ask about colloidal silver. You mentioned it's antibacterial, antimicrobial, antifungal.
Antiviral?
Yes. And you said that you personally take it, Dr. Wallach.
Yes, I do.
In the morning and evening. Now, how does that not disrupt your flora and your body's chemistry as far as bacteria and that, if you take it daily?
Okay, well, see, you have to appreciate, I'm also taking the digestive enzymes. I'm taking our ultimate enzymes, a gallbladder in a bottle. And so I take 3 of those, okay, with twice a day with breakfast and dinner, because my lunch is just a couple of cheese sticks and a piece of fruit or something like that, or a couple of our chocolates, okay? And so it's one of those things where the colloidal silver, I would rather use enzymes to deal with that than worry about than worry about having healthy
The
fungus.
biome?
Yeah, I don't want to have healthy bacteria and healthy fungus in my intestines. I want healthy intestines. Okay, and so I've been taking this colloidal silver stuff since I'm like 12 years old. Okay. And it's one of those things where, again, I don't want the bad boys and girls. I don't want those bad vitamins. I don't want the bad vitamins and minerals. I don't want the bad bacteria and fungus and viruses and all those parasites and stuff. And so I take the vitamins and minerals. I take our ultimate enzymes so that I'm knowing that I'm going to digest my food into small enough pieces to get absorbed properly and so forth. And I don't need as much bacteria as somebody who's not taking all the stuff I'm taking. And so I'm choosing a path, okay? And it's working for me. And
Well,
so,
thank you for that clarification then.
okay.
All right. Thank you. Great question, Marilyn. And Marilyn, you go ahead and stay here. Dr. Wallach, I'm going to go ahead and say goodbye and let you go. Thank you again for joining us here on Daily with Doc and Ruth Ellen. So we had a short crew today and they were working hard and I tried to help out as much as I could as well. But thank you to my co-hosts, to my team. Folks, we're a team, we're a community, and this room here with us and out on YouTube, I can't see Rumble, which I feel really bad about, but I know Ruth Ellen can see Rumble, and Facebook. So we have so many wonderful, wonderful people that we're able to surround ourselves with. And when you surround yourself with wonderful people, people that are like-minded, people that we can talk things through and get that positiveness running through our veins, then we find more and more positive people to join arms with and become business partners. Or if they're not interested in business, they're interested in health. And we're able to offer them empowering information and solutions to the most common health conditions. So folks, if any of that resonates with you, if you're listening to this program and you can think of anybody that might benefit from the information that is shared in today's program, share this program with them. If you're on YouTube, Rumble, Facebook, we are here as Critical Health News. And it is so easy to share these videos with people just by, as you're watching it, grab that URL, send it to them in a chat or a text and say, hey, I was listening to this and it just made me think of you. It might be beneficial for you to listen as well. And get back with the person that shared that video with you. If there is nobody to thank, then we are here to help. I have a whole team of certified holistic health coaches and fitness coaches here waiting to serve you. If you've never spoken to anybody about longevity before, we have a call team, 855-949-3377. If we're all on the phone, then it might take you to a voicemail. Please leave a message. We do respond to those messages and get back with all of the callers. You can also text us, 855-949-3377. So did I miss anything? dailywithdoc.com, all of the information, all the products that Dr. Wallach mentioned today, you can get back with the person that shared this program with you. They can tell you how they get their products. But if there's nobody to thank, dailywithdoc.com does have a store there. It has the replays of our programming there also, and also bonus information, including the good foods, bad foods list, and the contact us if you would like more information about our business, about our products, or a question to have Dr. Wallach answer himself or one of our certified holistic health coaches about what you can do nutritionally to benefit yourself, your family, and your community. Ruth Ellen?
I wanted to wish everybody a happy Cinco de Mayo. And I also want to make sure that sportists, nutritionists out there in YouTube land gets a big shout out because he really got it today. So thank you so much for that. You're awesome.
Yes.
And everybody, thank you for joining us. And on Facebook, I couldn't get your question answered, so I left you a message. So please join us next week so we can get it answered.
Yep. Or you do on Facebook. So you do also have the option to use the message and send us a private message, and we can get an answer to you that way as well. So awesome. Thank you so much, Ruth Ellen. Thank you so much, Marilyn. Marilyn does an awesome job keeping the things in the chat, keeping our chat alive, providing information to help those who are here live with us. That's dailywithdoc.zoom.com. See the information, because we can hear something and then we're wondering, oh, what did he say? And then Marilyn puts it in the chat and then it's like, oh, yes. So audio, visual listeners, we've got you covered. Those that are able to take screenshots of what Dr. Wallach recommends for somebody so that they can then take it to their coach and say, okay, this is what I need. Hook me up. My name is Becca Dukes, and on behalf of Daily with Doc, thank you again for joining us. We'll see you soon. And Monday through Friday, 12 to 12:50 p.m. Pacific time. Bye for now.